Hi, my name is Dwayne Parker, Director of Discipleship and Sunday School Ministries. You are listening to a Mississippi Baptist Convention Board production.
All right, we're back around the table again, the Mississippi Baptist Around the Table podcast. We hope you had a good 4th of July holiday. We're back at it as we make our way to fall ministry. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Have we not had a podcast since July the 4th?
We haven't. We kind of took a little time off there. Okay. You know, I don't know what you did, but I took a little vacation.
Yeah, you did. But some of us never get it. No.
You got plenty, right?
Glad to be here. Excited to have a guest with us today. Clint Ritchie is going to be with us. Clint currently serves with Arkansas Baptist as the missions assistant team leader and community missions strategist. But a lot of Mississippi guys know Clint because he was up in the Mississippi Delta for a little while, and so glad to have him with us to talk a little bit about community missions and also a little impact training. So, but before we do that, we're going to talk about impact training, which is coming up in just a few weeks.
That's right, August 7th. This is a really good location, First Baptist Philadelphia.
No doubt.
No better place to start, right? No offense to anybody else.
My personal opinion.
Yep. Be careful where you eat if you come visit there. You know, we ate at a
Tanner,
funny restaurant in Philadelphia. This is in Neshoba County, y'all, so it's a good spot, Mississippi. 414 Pecan Avenue is where First Baptist Philadelphia sits, and this is where we will start things. The uniqueness this year is that we will have a panel discussion to start. So each location will have 4 panelists and then 4 breakouts as well. So August 7th will be at First Baptist Philadelphia. And then what's next, John?
August 11th, North Greenwood, so up top.
That's right, North Greenwood. And then the very next day, August 12th, First Baptist Tupelo for Northeast folks.
August 18th, we'll be down in First Baptist Church Laurel, and looking forward to being at First Laurel. I think for the second time for impact training, that's a repeat.
Yep. August 19th, First Baptist Natchez, over there close to Mississippi River. We'll be glad to be there with Matt Martin. And we did a podcast with him.
Yes, we did.
Was that a few months ago?
Yep.
Anyway, so be glad to be there. So there's 5 spots across the state. You can register online now, and you need to register 1 week before each of these events to secure your dinner. Yes, there's food.
Yep.
And so, but we need to make sure we have food for everybody. So if you can register 1 week prior to that. So if you're going to Philadelphia, that means you got to register by July 31st to get your food.
Yeah.
That's just
and if you
right
don't register by then and you just want to show up and not eat, that's perfectly fine as well. Or Tanner will give you his dinner.
So John has chicken fingers somewhere. He can cook them up for you, right?
So. That's right. Yep. Clint, good to have you with us, man.
I'm glad to be with you guys.
Yeah, so brief introduction. You serve with Arkansas Baptist at this point, but at once upon a time you were in Mississippi. But tell us some other things about Clint Ritchie.
Yeah, so married to Jennifer, 21 years, got 2 teenage daughters, and so I am outnumbered at home. There's no reason to take a vote.
Yeah,
and most of the time they're going to disagree. So, but do serve here at Arkansas Baptist State Convention on the missions team, and but came here from Yazoo City after 6 years serving as their pastor. And so enjoyed time as a Mississippi Baptist and love serving Arkansas Baptist now.
So you left out that you served with Ken Hall.
Well, I didn't know. Some things are classified. And yes,
the longest interim in all of time.
Right? Yes, indeed. Very grateful for Mississippi Baptist allowing Ken to serve as a interim for half his life or so.
That's good.
Great guy.
Yeah.
My kids love Ken Hall.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love Ken Hall, though, right? So that's good. Well,
that's right.
We're glad that you're on loan to Arkansas for a time, and grateful to have you with us to lead a community missions breakout, basically, at Impact Training. But we ask you to do that because of our knowledge of your work while you were at First Baptist Church Yazoo, but and also what you do now with Arkansas Baptist. So can you kind of explain to us what your role looks like at Arkansas Baptist? What is a community missions strategist?
Yeah, so, to really boil it down, I help churches look at ways that they can get outside of their 4 walls and engage their local context, meeting needs, but also, and most importantly, sharing the gospel pointing people to the Lord, building relationships that last over time. So a big emphasis on follow up with that. So not just a one and done kind of thing. And so that is the overarching role. Have some responsibilities, specifically in the Delta, able to use from experience in Yazoo City to work in the Arkansas Delta. And, as we say here, that time really gives me some street cred among our Delta pastors.
Yeah, sure.
And so have that. Also do a couple of events. We do a big one-day mission trip every year. First Saturday in October, we'll have about 1,500 Arkansas Baptists that go to a specific location and serve there over 5 hours that day. And so I'm responsible for that. And then we have a spring outreach strategy that came when we had to adjust for our one-day mission trip when we couldn't all gather together, that we encourage folks to serve in their local communities. Yeah. And so we call that One Day Serve Local. And so that's part of our spring outreach strategy. And so I really put a lot of effort and emphasis into that. And things like block parties, our medical dental ministry, and anything, again, that allows a church to engage its local context is in my lane.
Yeah, that's good. And I want to come back to some of these things here, but I want to follow up with your ministry background and leading into this role. Like, can you explain how God opened the door for you to jump into a role like this with Arkansas Baptist?
Yeah, so I pastored for 18 years. So again, the last 6 in Yazoo City. And I didn't know I was doing anything that was really standing, that really stood out or it was different than anybody else. I was really involved. I was in small communities, especially prior to coming to Yazoo City. And I was just involved in the community, was heavily involved with schools that were there and things like police department and sheriff's department, but just really in the community, saw myself not just the pastor of the church, but a pastor of the community. And so the Lord gave me a lot of opportunities that I get to rely upon now. And, so much of ministry is relationships. And it was folks sitting in my seat now that poured into me as a young pastor, even a college student, that became some of my best friends, mentors in ministry. And so when I left Arkansas to come to Yazoo City, I was told then, hey, at some point you'll have to make a hard decision and tell us no. And so when the opportunity came and the Lord was working and worked out all the details, it was about a 1.5-year conversation to come back to here. But I look now and see the whole picture of experiences I had in every place, the things I learned that I get to use to try to encourage others today. And then those relationships, as I considered this role, it really became a stewardship issue that people had poured into me, kept me from doing a lot of stupid stuff, but had really just been a friend to me through the years. And that's really what I love about this role is the opportunity now just to champion pastors and come alongside them, let them know they're not alone. They may be in a small town by themselves, but there's folks here to support them and just to get to see, cooperative efforts take place.
Yeah, that's good. I wonder, as you minister to these churches, trying to encourage them to get outside of the four walls, like you said, what do you think is the biggest struggle in that? Is it a we don't know what to do? Is it a we don't recognize the lostness that's around us? What do you think? What's the hill to overcome, I guess?
Yeah, I think it's both of those things. A lot of it is that we really don't know our communities. In a lot of our churches, our communities have changed, and the church is isolated from the community and insulated itself. And so we may know some of the ills that exist in our communities, some of the things that we fuss about and point fingers at, things that we know should change. But we'll come, and a lot of times we drive in to where our church is. Maybe we move to other areas outside where the church actually is located. And so we come in, we do church, and we leave. And so I think a struggle is often getting people to realize their needs. What are the needs? Really identify what the needs are, and then determine how you can feasibly meet some of those needs. You can't meet them all. It's overwhelming when you begin to list all the needs that exist. but then to understand that the greatest need is a relationship with Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes meeting, a need like hunger may open a door for a relation or a conversation about the gospel that leads to someone professing Christ. But the other end of that is also we can become where we focus so much on meeting the need that we never share the gospel.
Mm-hmm.
One of my responsibilities is our hunger ministries in Arkansas, and we've had churches that do a great job of a food pantry, meeting that need, giving out food, and never share the gospel.
Yeah.
And I come along and remind them, hey guys, this is you're really defeating the purpose. You have to come back to the why.
Yeah.
So I think a hill that to get over is to realize that we got to get outside our walls. We got to engage, and we got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell pastors oftentimes that may mean that you have to start alone.
Yeah.
And you have to start small, but somebody has to start and somebody has to lead, and then others will follow once he or someone else models what can be done.
Yeah. So what's that first step to discovering the needs in your community? I mean, I know we have perceived needs, right? Like you're saying, we have windshield time, we drive through our neighborhoods and we say, well, that's probably a need, but that may not actually be the needs that exist. So what's kind of the first step, or what's the means that you go about helping churches determine these are the real needs that are in our communities?
Yeah, I think you have to listen to people. And in some cases that may be, just somebody that lives in the community, somebody walking down the street. If you could engage them in a conversation, it's doing things, like a community needs assessment, where you are really surveying your community. But I think you can start and get a good picture with talking to some community leaders.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage folks, if you want to really see your community, ask a police officer if you can ride with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just say, hey guys, show me the parts that I may not go to.
Yeah.
And, just see some of the calls, some of the things that they go on. Elected officials always, but school officials.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great if you can get the ear of a superintendent or a principal, but most of us have teachers in our churches.
Yeah.
And, the teachers, oftentimes they may know the needs even more than an administrator.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really just listening to people that are in the community and hear their heart and hear what needs exist.
Yeah, that's good.
And I've had that similar thought with new pastors. When you walk into a new church for the first time, you can so quickly get within your bubble of the walls of that church, right? And just that becomes your rhythm for the years ahead. But how important that is to do what you just said, get in the car with the local policeman, let them show you around the new community so you learn that community more and hear more what the community needs and what the church can do. That's really good. So are you spilling all the beans for this breakout session you're going to share in impact training?
No, not really.
Nobody's listening to this anyway. So
come on, that's right. So I led off with we're starting impact trains in Philadelphia on August 7th, but Clint will not be with us for all 5. You are going to be with us at 2. That's August 11th at Greenwood, which is great. That's right where you were, close to Yazoo. And then August 12th at First Baptist Tupelo. So we'll have you back-to-back nights. I don't know what you're billing Jon Martin for that, but hope it's pretty good. So this is going to be really, really helpful for those that are coming to those 2 nights, the 11th in Greenwood and 12th in Tupelo. But are you going to cover some of this, I imagine, in your breakouts?
Yeah, I will. I've been assigned the topic, though, of reaching your community or engaging your community through events. And so we'll talk about more event-based. Then we can have the conversation and really talk about how do you determine what events to host, where you have to go back to what your needs are.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll focus on an event, and not to go ahead and spill some of the beans there. It's to look at an event more than just that one day or that event, but to see it as a process that starts with you. Bathing it in prayer, you're planning. Of course, you got to promote and stuff. But we're going to talk about sharing the gospel, building relationships with people, capturing information so that you can follow up. And, and we'll talk about some ideas of events and stuff. But yeah, my area that for the training will be on using an event to engage locally.
Yeah, because, every church has events. They have community events even. Some of them are more outwardly focused than others, right? But they have fall festivals. They have Vacation Bible School. We just spent, everybody's doing Vacation Bible School right now, and I'm afraid that sometimes we miss those opportunities, right? We have visitors inside of our building, and we expect that they're just going to show back up next Sunday or the next Sunday, and if you're not intentional, it's probably not going to happen, right? So that's what we ask you to do, and that's exactly what you just said you were going to do. So, yeah, great.
Yeah, and most churches can draw a crowd.
Yeah.
Especially you go into areas that don't have a whole lot going on. In a small town, it's pretty easy to draw a crowd. Mm-hmm. But what do you do with the crowd once you get them there? Yeah. We need to share the gospel. We need to draw the net, and then it's a process. And to me, your event's not over until you have assimilated each person into a church. And so we'll talk about having a long view and really committing to the follow-up process.
That's good.
That's good. And for those of you that can't make this Greenwood location, Tupelo location, we're going to try to record each of these breakouts. So if you really want to hear Clint's whole talk on events and how he talks about through that, we'll have that recording for you later if Tanner doesn't forget to bring the microphone to record that.
That's right.
So I don't know if you worked out a food deal coming from Arkansas. I'm sure you want barbecue when you come to Mississippi. I don't know, what
do y'all eat in Arkansas? I don't know. I don't even know.
There's good barbecue in Arkansas, right?
There it is, but I really hate to admit, I never thought I would, but I cannot find catfish like I find in Mississippi.
There you go.
Oh,
there you
man.
go.
So,
well, in Greenwood, we'll get you some catfish.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
All right.
Who caters in Greenwood? I'm sure Jim Phillips knows.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad Arkansas Baptist, you can join us here at Mississippi Baptist Life. We're brothers in ministry, right? And I want to, before we leave you, I do want people to know we have podcast listeners listening right now, so they can listen to your podcast and Arkansas Baptist. Can you help describe what your podcast is? I don't want to mistitle the name.
Yeah, it's Missionize. Missionize with the mission guys.
Yes.
And so it's myself, my team leader, Sam Roberts, and drop every other week, and just similar conversations to what you guys do. And so love for you to take a listen sometime.
Yeah, it's great. I hear some of those episodes, and you guys really focus on the missions because, both of you guys work in missions. And so, anyway.
Yes.
Maybe one day we can twist Chad's arm and get something like that going in Mississippi too. I'm just kidding. We'll let you. Yeah. I want to see y'all arm wrestle at least. One mission guy from Arkansas over here. I want to see y'all do that at some point when you come over here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, he may could win arm wrestling, but I am bigger if we need to really wrestle.
You'll give it to him. All right, Clint, appreciate you. Thanks for
man.
giving some time to Mississippi Baptist Life. Appreciate you, buddy.
I appreciate it. Look forward to being with you guys.
All right, we'll see you.
Mississippi Baptist, thank you for listening to today's episode. My name is Dwayne Parker, and I serve as the Director of Discipleship and Sunday School Ministries. Our department works to assist, equip, and resource churches in the areas of discipleship for all ages. We cover discipleship strategy development, small group strategies, Central Hills Baptist Retreat, Next Gen Birth Through College Ministry strategies, Bible Drill, Vacation Bible School, Super Summer, Senior Adult Ministries, Men's Ministry, and all other age-graded ministries. If you have questions for our department, please email me at dparker@mbcb.org or call 601-292-3289.